Right. All right, let's see. Hello everyone. Let's see if you can hear me. 1 2 1 2. Let's see if you can hear Ableton also. Right. Let's see. Hello everyone. Let's see if you can hear me. 1 2 1 2. Let's see if you can hear Ableton also. Hello everyone. Let's see if you can hear me. Okay. 1 2 1 2. Let's see if you can hear Ableton also. All right, guys. Just a second. Let me figure out my feedback. Hello everyone. See if you can hear me. Okay. All right, guys. Just a second. Let me figure out my feedback. Okay. Something's supposed to be. There it is, I think. All right, guys. No. Let me figure out my feedback. Over here. Yeah, but both. There it is one, and here is the other one. Okay, there we are. Thank you. Okay, guys, so I think it's not coming feedback anymore, right? Yeah, but both. Okay, still a little bit, few seconds. One, and here is the other one. Okay, there we are. Thank you. Okay, guys, so. All right. Where it is. And it's not coming feedback anymore, right? Okay, still a little bit, few seconds. And here is the other one. Okay, there we are. Hey guys, so all right. Where it is. And it's not coming feedback anymore, right? Still a little bit, few seconds. Okay, I think it's ready. Or is it coming from another? Okay. Right, guys, hello. Sorry for that. Okay, I think it's ready. What is going on? Or is it coming from another? Right, guys, hello. Sorry for that. Okay, it's ready. No, I think it's not ready. What is going on? Here is another one. There it is. Gets disconnected. All right, I think we have it. Okay, guys, so today I want to talk about several stuff as always. Let's start. Arrangement and automation. Let me double check that everything is fine here. Okay, yes, here looks fine. And here looks fine. Okay, so First, let's talk about automation for a second. I'm working in this project. Let's play and see. So as you can see, I have this symbol that is pretty static, and I want to add some automation. This guy here. So what I'm gonna do is a symbol from 606. I just drop it there on an empty track. It goes straight to a simpler. First thing, I have to set this at one shot. So doesn't matter how long I'm playing a note, it's gonna play always the whole sample. Then I make some changes in the velocity, and let's program this for a second. Alright, so let's get this. Looks like I want to cut it and maybe make an automation with the decay. Let's first add some filter. Some velocity variation. Alright, sounds a little better there. I really want to change the decay, so I'm gonna go from simpler to sampler. And here we have in the filter global tab, I have here the decay. So very simple, I'm gonna right click, edit MIDI map, and it's already mapped, but touch one of the pots from my MIDI controller that I have connected here, and again I have to come out from the MIDI map, clicking here in MIDI. Now I have the decay mapped to this knob. I don't want to go from 1 millisecond to 60 seconds. So in order to set the range of this parameter, I have to go back to the MIDI map editor and open the browser. And here in the browser we have the limits of the decay. In this case I'm gonna go from few milliseconds, 50, to maybe a couple of seconds. Let's see how this sounds. Go out from MIDI. Alright, I'm just gonna double check that everything is fine. Alright, yes, looks like everything is fine, perfect. Awesome, so how I record an automation from something that is already printed. So first we have to activate the record automation, which is up here, and then just get ready. And very important, you don't have to arm the track, because if you arm the track and you start recording, all the information is being deleted because it's waiting MIDI input. So let's take the arm, I'm gonna undo. So arm should be off from that track. What we have to do is just click the automation, the record button. Let's play everything together so I can have a feeling of what's going on and maybe don't loop it there. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. It just got gray because I touched the knob right after I stop. This should be this way. Alright, so that's the first thing I wanted to mention. Don't arm a track if you are going to record only automation. Alright, okay, let's go for something else. So I'm gonna make a riser here. I have this breakdown just before the breakdown. I want to raise the energy. So somewhere here. So how I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna add a new track, MIDI track. I'm gonna create a clip just for 4 bars. Insert MIDI clip, Shift Command M. I'm gonna play a note. What is this? 8 bars? Oh, okay, 73. I'm gonna say legato. So it plays the whole note. Now let's add here to this channel analog. And let's play that part. Oh, very annoying. Just 2 sawtooths. So I'm gonna deactivate one of them. And what I want to do is to raise the pitch of this note, to make an envelope to the pitch, so it changes in time. So the envelope for the pitch is in the oscillator tab. I have to click in the oscillator tab. Let's bring this guy to -80. And this one to almost 100. Alright, so now let's apply a filter. First, let's go to the amplifier envelope and set it as a gate. Then let's go to the filter. Probably let's try to do something like that. So no envelope filter. I'm gonna do it with, I'm gonna modulate the filter cutoff frequency with an LFO. So I activate the LFO, I set a waveform a triangle. LFO basically is a low frequency oscillator, and it helps us to modulate different parameters from a synthesizer. So it's not doing anything because I have to set the destination. Very important. We have to set who is going to be modulated by the LFO. In this case, I want the filter frequency that is here. So I have to give a value to this LFO1. Values are kind of weird here in analog, from -4 to 4. Let's open all the modulation and then we can set it later. So now I want to make a modulation, an automation to this rate of the LFO to create this effect. So in this case I'm gonna do it offline instead of using the controller. Come here and set the LFO like this. Let's listen how it works. it starts like very slow, so let's still very slow, so let's start there. Okay, and here we have two parameters from the LFO that might be helpful in this situation. I don't want the modulation to start right in the beginning, so I have two options. I can move this here and set 0, but also there is something inside the LFO that is called a delay. It's gonna start a few milliseconds later. I need to do it a little longer, more than half second that I gave, so kind of like 2 seconds maybe. So as you can see, in the beginning there is no modulation, and the modulation starts a little later. And also we can say that we can set an attack to the LFO, so it starts modulation slowly, not slowly, softer, and then it gets to the maximum amplitude of modulation. So also I'm gonna add half second. So we have 2 seconds delay and then half second of attack. So the LFO is going to start late because of the delay, and then it's not gonna start with full modulation because of the attack. Let's say 1 second for the attack. Well, we can make a curve here, this way, or even also in this way, but I think it's gonna sound better, something like this. Let's try again. We can bring a little the top behind. Alright, so that's one thing. Let's say if I want to add some noise to this, I can activate the noise, and so maybe I want to make an automation for the color of the noise and bring it from dark to bright. So again, make this. In case we want to see more than one modulation, automation, we can bring them here and see here the other parameters, which were the LFO speed. Alright, let's add more noise instead of so much synth. And what else we can do here? We can activate actually the unison. The unison basically is, I can play with different voices the same note. Here we have 2 or 4 voices available for the unison. This in theory will give us just more volume, but the trick is to detune them, and that's what detune is right next to unison. It creates like the effect of a choir. So I can see that the modulation of the LFO on the filter frequency is very noticeable. So I'm gonna just drop the modulation index. Looks like it's gonna be a little long. Let's play it a little in the context with the track and see how we are doing. Let's see, I think, yes, it's gonna be... Yeah, it's very long, so I'm gonna cut it halfway. bring the note to the beginning of the clip. Well, there is a lot of stuff playing here, so I'm gonna cut the kicks and the ride in that moment. I'm making a little space, so when we add this razor there is some room there. Well, the noise color, I have to change a little the automations here, and here it was the LFO speed, which we are gonna bring here, and this guy here. Alright, so now let's add an explosion. Well, first, have you seen I haven't make any automation? I'm gonna see if everything is fine here. Okay. So have you seen I haven't made any automation in the volume, and this is because usually I leave it for a little later. Later means that when I have this ready, I say here freeze track, and then I flatten it into audio. Basically it's like a render in place. Don't have to go to the main menu and select any channel or anything like that. I just say freeze and now flatten, and I have the audio already there. One thing that we have to know is that flatten always flattens at 32 bits, regardless of the parameter that I have here as bit depth, says record. So if we make a bounce or resampling, we are recording with this quality that we have set here. But when we are doing a freeze and flatten, it always renders at 32 bits at the maximum quality. Okay, so I was saying that I was not making any automation of the volume because I like to do it here with the fades. It's very easy, very visual also. So I can do this. You have to be out of the automation mode. So I'm just clicking A. When you are in automation mode, you can see here the automations. Right now I don't have any because I already flattened the MIDI. So here, while you are in automation mode, you cannot adjust the fades. You have to get out from automation mode and then you have the fades here. So basically I'm making like an automation in the volume. Well, let's continue with something else. There looks like it would be great to make kind of like an explosion. I hear exactly what says break, where says the break. So I'm gonna add a new mini channel. I'm gonna add a clap. As you see, I type clap here and nothing shows up because I'm in the instrument category. But if you say Command F, it looks under all the results. So there they are. It happens a lot that you type something and nothing comes up. Just type whatever you want and Command F for all results. So here I have a clap. Let's drop it here. Oh, this is an audio, so I'm not interested in an audio. I want to, well, or maybe yes, straight audio. I was going to do it with something different, but I can do that. So if I'm not wrong, should be somewhere here. So let's listen to this clap only and add a very long reverb. Let's reset it. And let's put it like pretty long, few seconds. Let's give all the dry wet to 100%, and let's pitch this down and add an EQ. Maybe we can EQ the reverb that we were applying, so it's not so bright. Let's give high quality and cut a little the lows and maybe a little the highs also. Alright, let's see how this sounds together with the other one. I'm gonna play it from here. Alright, so let's what else? Everyone alright here? So now I'm gonna take my voice and make something. So it's Command Shift. Well, I'm gonna do it with the mouse so you can see. Insert audio track. I'm gonna open the inputs and outputs. I'm gonna set my microphone. Let's go. There it is. I'm gonna mute my speaker so there is no feedback. I'm gonna just record my voice. Just you're gonna see what I'm gonna do. Give me 1 second. Alright, so input in. Get ready this guy to record. Just gonna set this to 0, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we are, there we are. Ha, ha. Right, right. There we are, no feedback. So what I'm going to do with this guy, I'm going to take it somewhere here. Well, doesn't matter because I'm gonna change it. So just get a little. Let's make it longer. So what I'm going to do basically is apply a very long reverb, and then I'm gonna reverse this sample, so we create like an effect to add some energy to that tracer. So I want to have this guy a little longer, so it doesn't get loop. I don't want to get loop, and I need space here because I'm gonna add long reverb. All the way wet. Let's give it a little shape again. Alright, perfect. So now I want to have an audio version of this clap, sorry, this voice with the reverb. So again, I'm gonna freeze and flatten this track. So freeze here. And flatten. Perfect. Now I have the whole sample of the voice with a long reverb, and I'm gonna put this in complex, and I'm going to reverse it. I'm gonna place it just here. I think this, I need it. We have the clap there from before, the eraser, and this new channel. Let's see how this sounds. Right, so we have to bring it a little here. Now let's see how everything together sounds. And when I say everything together, I mean the 3 channels that I create today. Okay, so let's put names here, riser, clap, and reverse. Let's take these guys all together, change the color to brown, and assign. Now we can go one by one and adjust some stuff. For example, the razor, I think that needs an EQ. And a little high pass, so doesn't bother the low frequencies. The clap needs also a little EQ. Probably too much highs. So let's listen only to the clap for a second. Got a little more the lows. And let's listen to this guy for 1 second. This here also EQ. I'm gonna leave that. Probably take out all the low frequencies so it doesn't bother with anything. Right, now let's see how this sounds in context. So we are somewhere here. Reverse probably is pretty high, so let's put it here, and let's add them to a group tracks, Command G, and let's add an echo effect to the group, and I'm gonna add some reverb here, and dry wet, I'm gonna automate it. So again, I'm gonna do this offline. I'm gonna open my automations that I closed it before with A, toggling A, and now I can see the dry wet there, so I don't want any echo before or very little, and where I want the echo is just after, probably a little before. So we leave a tail there, so it doesn't get so dry right after. Let's it again one more. Well, this is open to your imagination and creativity. I use a synthesizer, a clap, and a voice to create this. We can keep going, and one of the ways I like to keep going is throwing all this into a sampler. So what we can do is, let me see, can do this. I'm gonna just throw the reverse into a sampler. So add MIDI track and instruments, sampler. I can drop this guy here, and we start again. This is what I like from samplers. When I don't know what to do with the sound, I just throw it into a sampler. And I have this now chromatically here. But what I wanted to do is to open the pitch oscillator tab, activate oscillator, and what we can do here is apply some FM synthesis to this sample. So FM synthesis basically is frequency modulation, which one waveform modulates the pitch of another. In this case, our waveform is this, or carrier, and we are going to modulate the frequency of this waveform thanks to the FM oscillator that we have here. So to activate the FM is clicking here in oscillator. You have FM and AM. AM is amplitude modulation. Basically we change the amplitude of the carrier. Frequency modulation, we are modulating the frequency of the carrier. But you have to come here and set a volume for the FM oscillator, otherwise it's not gonna do anything. So as soon as I give some volume, I don't know if you can hear, we start getting a little more noisy effects. We can change also the chords and the type of waveform that we are using to modulate. The more complex the waveform is, the more noise we are going to create. So I'm gonna stick with sine. I just remember that with Zoom sometimes it's skipping or glitching the video, so I'm gonna wait 1 second. We can also change the pitch of the modulator. This is gonna be too high pitch. I'm not gonna even leave it for till the end. I'm gonna just stay till in 1. And yeah, I'm gonna play this. Maybe a good idea could be to have this all the way up and start bringing it down. Yeah, let's do that. So here, let's create a MIDI clip, play one note, and legato for just 1 bar, 2 bars. Okay. And we say to bring this guy down, so let's automate that. Right click, show automation. Also another method of finding the parameter we want. Be careful with this parameter because it's not like the rest. It has a little different grid, but don't get scared. It's just like a little different layout. So let's see how it sounds. Okay, don't know where the volume went. Ah, volume here. I think I missed something with the volume. What happened? Let's give a little more volume to this oscillator. And definitely more volume to this instrument. I'm gonna see if I can give it here. Maybe instead of volume, I'm gonna add a filter, and I'm gonna add a MS2 circuit in the filter, which is a replica of the MS20, the Korg MS20. And as soon as we select one of these filters here, we have a drive option, which basically we are saturating the filter. We are giving a little hype to the filter. And okay, so alright, so let me see something else here. We have a nice volume here. I can change. Alright guys, I think you should be tired of listening to the same thing over and over. So I'm gonna come here and see if you are doing. Alright, so if I use kicks for explosion, I use different stuff. I use a clap, I think, today. You can use claps or snares or whatever you want, kicks also. Why not? Definitely. Any other questions, guys? Oh, it's going here, all fine. Yeah. Okay. So we have few minutes left. Let's do something different. Okay. So let's rename this as Racer Group. Okay. So maybe I can use one of these guys. Let's come to the Racer, to the analog. Let's say I want to add different effects. I want to try different effects. I don't want to be loading and deleting effects. I can create like effect selector. So I'm gonna come here to effects and audio effect rack. I'm gonna drop it here empty. So we have here the different chains. With this guy I'm opening the different chains. So I'm gonna do it with 3 effects. For example, I'm not sure which distortion is gonna fit. So let's use overdrive. And let's use a saturator. And let's use erosion, digital distortion. So now if I play this sound, it's gonna have 3 effects. Who's here? The Racer. I don't want to have the 3 effects simultaneously. I have this guy overdrive. I have this saturator. I can rename it also overdrive saturator. And this guy was the erosion. What I want to show you is that I can create a selector. if I came here to chain, I can set these guys. Let's do it this way. I don't know if you are gonna see enough. Let's say this from 0 to 8, this guy from 9 to 16, this guy from 17 to 24. And now I have to map this parameter here, which is the chain selector, to, let's map it to one of these knobs here in my MIDI controller. Well, there it is. It's here. The only thing is that it was a little hidden. Okay, let's minimize the. Let's go out from the MIDI mapping, minimize the EQ so you can see a little better. Now I can move from the different effects, but I only want to go from 0 to 24. So again I have to open the minimap, open the browser, and set that this chain selector has to go only from 0 to 24. Now if I play my whatever was this, you can see that because the selector is in this position, it's only playing the overdrive. Here it's playing the saturator, you can see it here in the faders, and here is gonna play only the erosion. Let's open the erosion and change this here so we can hear the difference. Not much difference, but I hope you get it. What I want to show you guys, you can do this with any effects. Sometimes I save them and use them in different projects, so I can load this audio effect rack. Let's save it here with a floppy disk. Here I can say VI saturation rack. So very quick I can go through different effects. Also I can play two effects at the same time. If I extend the region of saturator, now when I'm in this area I'm gonna be playing two effects simultaneously. In this area only saturator, and in this one only erosion. Let's see if this was clear. Alright, so you have to freeze and flatten. You have to keep the original track as well. Usually I do. I make a copy and then I freeze and flatten. In the case I have to go back to the original sound, I can change it. As soon as I decide that is the final sound, I delete the MIDI channel. It says, and in the case of a creative loop made with single samples, for the assignment you mean? Okay, yes. Well, Joseph is explaining them there. I don't know if it's anyone here. Costas, we saw that. Sounds like the beginning of. Ah, okay. Alright, well, that was basically what I have ready for today. I don't know, guys, if you have any other questions. Ah, yeah, actually I have something else. Let's kill these few minutes. very important. These couple of commands, I think that you have to have them very close to you. The first one I want to mention is we select something. Sorry, I thought it was the loop there. So imagine we select this area. The practical case, I want to make longer my break. So instead of selecting everything that is after the break and drag it few bars, etc., etc., I can come here, select this area and say duplicate time. What is the difference with duplicate? If we say only duplicate, it's gonna overwrite what I have right after duplicate. So I don't want that. I want duplicate time. So Shift Command D, very important for duplicate time in the arrangement. Another one that I usually use is to insert time. So again, I'm here and I need some space to do something instead of selecting everything and dragging, where normally the automations gets like a little crazy and we have to adjust them again. We can say here, this is not in edit, this is in create, insert silence. Now we have here an empty space. Create an empty space of the length of my loop. If you don't select anything, you just say create insert silence or Command I. Gives you the option of inserting here how many bars. These are 16th notes and beats. So let's imagine I want to add just 13 bars. There it is. An empty space with 13 bars here. Right. I think that was what I wanted to say. Let's see if there is anyone with questions. Oh, still with that question from Michelle that Joseph is handling there. Thank you, Joseph. Matty, hey guys, just a quick note to the one-to-one video uploads. So seems I'm sharing this a little slow, but here basically actually I have to open my slots for next week. So in week 6, basically where you upload it is a chat open or a message or a thread open, and there is where we upload them. For example, here Simonas upload the project, and then in my case I post them here. I think Joseph does the same. So if you haven't posted anything, it's okay, we know that, and automatic comment is created with your project. I'm going to show you now. This is Simona's, which actually I upload twice. I think I made a mistake there. And if you haven't posted anything, it's okay, because so for example here Alessandro didn't comment anything, but then I reply to a dummy comment from him with the with the link to the video, to the one-to-one. Right, so there it is. Even that he didn't comment, here is the link to the video. I hope that's clear. So yeah, that's a little more. Joseph will know a little more about that. Before it used to be under the VLE, now we are doing with YouTube, as you can see, and Joseph probably will know where we are going to upload them. Alright guys, any other question? I hope Matty, that was answer your question. Alright, so next keys mixing for next week. Anyone? Right, so if anyone has any other questions, alright guys, so that was all from my side. I'll see you in a couple of weeks in the masterclass. Well, next week also I will be on the chat. It's Joseph week. And thank you, Joseph. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.